Christian McCaffrey was an honorable mention.
Listen, I got to say, this is an excellent list. And what you notice is they all catch passes nowadays.
That's right.
All these running backs are exceptional pass catchers. Who's the worst pass catcher among them? Ezekiel Elliott, who can do it, right? Like, they can all catch.
Right.
McCaffrey, I think, belongs on the list. David Johnson was supposed to be a big deal last year because he had such a good season the previous season. People are expecting a bounce back. I got to wait to see. But I would take Le'Veon Bell off and replace him with McCaffrey right now because we haven't seen Bell play in a year. McCaffrey was sensational last year.
Right.
I got to see Bell. I think he is, but I got to see that he's the same guy.
Or you could argue fresh legs.
Maybe. I got to see he's the same guy. And then fine. Because he's been the best for years. I also disagree with the order. Kamara's great. Todd Gurley, to me, if he's healthy, there's Saquon. I think Gurley's right behind Saquon.
The only reason I disagree, I could agree with your point about Christian McCaffrey because with the New York Jets, you got Sam Darnold, and he's obviously going to lean on Le'Veon. In the case of Christian McCaffrey, now that Funches is gone from Carolina, Cam and North Turner may rely on Christian McCaffrey even more. So you might have a point there. As it pertains to Gurley, here's my issue. I believe that LA is going to be very safe and cautious with him because they're confident that they're good enough to get to the postseason, and they don't want to be compromised by health issues with Todd Gurley like they were last year. I think in the crevices of their mind, they believed it cost them a Super Bowl title because, remember, both offenses, New England and their offense, were struggling in the Super Bowl. I think they believe if Gurley were healthy, that Gurley would have delivered the goods. You know so they're going to protect him, and I think that's why you're not going to see him do what you normally see him do.
That doesn't mean he can't do it,
I'm not questioning
he's not
he can't
better.
do it.
Like, you and I disagree about or debate this a lot, actually, depending on the way a guy is used. I thought when Gurley was being held back because Jeff Fisher was there and the offense wasn't going, they would stack the box. I still thought he was better than Ezekiel Elliott. People used to say I was wrong all the time because they didn't see him do it, but you could see Gurley could do all those things. The system wasn't good for him.
Right.
I think Gurley, when it comes down to it, on any given play, is going to be the second most valuable back to Saquon this year.
And I guess what I'm saying,
I think McCaffrey might be third, by the way.
I'm not questioning his skill set at all. I'm just saying they're going to safeguard him to exploit him later. But may I get to T.O.? Can I?
Oh, wait, I have something else first.
Oh, sure.
We have a couple clapbacks for you.
Okay.
Can we get the first one up here?
What's the clapback?
Let's see. Devontae Adams just straight up sniffing glue.
Right.
He's going to crush it in fantasy. But now we can get to your boy, T.O.
Okay. Can I say something? Can I say? Oh, go ahead, read it.
You want me to read it?
Go ahead.
Disrespectful at Stephen A. Smith not to have A.B. in the top 5. Regardless of quarterback, what he brings to the receiver position should be considered to elevate D-Car's game. But until the season starts and season unfolds, you shouldn't discount his ranking. This is bad for someone of your status in your caliber. At Stephen A. Smith, 3 exclamation points. Maybe it's 4. I don't have my glasses on. Very disappointed.
Well, first of all, the nerve of T.O. to go on social media. This is supposed to be my brother. By the way, T.O. knows his basketball, too, and he makes a lot of good predictions.
Yeah, I think he
basketball, too.
And he can play as well. This is all fun. It's no biggie. But I'm going to get back at T.O. like this. I expect people to understand what I say. I think I speak fluent English. I specifically emphasized on this show, maybe, Max, it's your fault because you were interrupting me while I was talking. They didn't hear me. They might have heard you. I specifically stated
it worked.
Antonio Brown is a top 2 all-world receiver and one of the greatest receivers of this generation. My argument about projecting what he would be this season has nothing to do with his skill set. I've got questions about Derek Carr and John Gruden. I've never seen, and I got a question. It's a rhetorical one for T.O. T.O. out there, wherever you are, probably in L.A. chilling in the nice weather right now. Here's the deal. Tell me one receiver that threw the ball to himself. Tell me one. Because last time I checked, T.O. had a whole bunch of people throwing the ball at him. That's why he was always getting on quarterbacks, because you needed them to get you the ball. You can act like it doesn't matter when it comes to these rankings. If I came on here and I said, Antonio can't play, he's a distraction, he ain't going to ball, that would be different. I did no such thing. I specifically said, Antonio Brown is one of the top 2 receivers in the world. He's one of the greatest receivers, arguably Jerry Rice caliber over the last 6 seasons in terms of his numbers. But my issue is you ain't been on the field with Derek Carr. We got some questions about Derek Carr, who I don't think is a scrub. I think Derek Carr can play. But Oakland has some stuff to prove. And I don't know if that's the case
But he's
yet.
making the point. He's debating the same point with you. It's like, take baseball.
Sure.
When we were kids, RBIs were a big deal, right? How many ribbies a guy have? No one really cares about that anymore because they know largely that's a function not only of how you hit, but where you hit in the lineup. So what you're kind of saying is it's like a guy, well, they're going to hit him 8th this year. He won't have a lot of RBIs, so he won't be as good. But what T.O. is saying is, brother, it doesn't matter who, like, when AB is on the field, independent of everything else, he intrinsically is one of the best receivers in football.
And I guess my comeback to you guys would be this. Antonio Brown could end up with 1,200 yards this year. And there could be 8 receivers with better numbers.
Yep.
We ain't going to say they better than Antonio Brown. We're going to sit up there and say, damn it, there was problems in Oakland.
They had a better season than Antonio Brown.
And we're going to sit up there and say there were some problems in Oakland. But it's not going to negate the fact that we still, in terms of, remember, we were projecting this season. We're looking forward into 2019, who's going to have the better seasons. Not who the best receivers are.
Yep.
Who's going to have the better season was the category. And I'm saying, I believe that Derek Carr and John Gruden have the potential to compromise the greatness of Antonio Brown as opposing to making it shine. He took it as if I'm taking a shot at Antonio Brown. And I'm saying no. I'm looking at Derek Carr. What you gonna do? Are you gonna have a good season? Yes or no?
Well, you're consistent.
That's what I'm looking
this
at.
is the same argument you made like against the big man. Going for a guard or a wing player, you need someone to get him the ball.
You need someone to get him the ball.
But what I'm saying is if you, and I think T.O. is saying it too, if you're talking about the best 5 receivers in the game, even if you talk best 3, you cannot leave Antonio Brown's name out of it.
But we didn't say who the best receivers is going to be. We were talking about projecting who's going to have the best seasons. And I'm saying that's a different conversation.
He's
who's
saying
the
his
best
quarterback might not get the job done.
Who's going to have the best season?
It was more based on production.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports, highlights, and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.